Hmm. Well, that's weird. The music won't play.
Weird. Are we recording now?
Yeah, we are.
Cool. Hey everybody! Welcome back to another episode of the Bat Cave. Except it's not the Bat Cave, and we've never done this before, so you're not being welcome back.
I
I
will
lied.
welcome you back. You're right that it's not the Batcave. It's like
Welcome back to Rogue One Radio. Or Rebel
what?
Rock Radio. See, I keep doing it. I keep doing it. I don't think I'll ever know it as Rebel Rock Radio properly.
And we will probably be changing it again, so you're going to get even
Yeah.
more confused. I wonder if the background only plays during a live stream. That's weird.
Maybe.
Oh well. Okay. Good to know.
Anyway.
There we go. Now it's
Okay,
playing.
now I hear it.
No evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light.
Okay, so if that was not a hint enough, we are going to be talking about Green Lantern.
Spawn. What?
Wait, what?
I thought we were talking about Spawn.
Oh, look, I can do notes in Restream.
We're having a lot of fun here tonight. Not even tonight. It's not even noon. But this is a new system program for the two of us. So I think you like debuted it on the channel last night for the 200th episode. Which, by the way, if you haven't gone and watched the 200th episode, go check it out. There's a special guest.
Yeah, it's DJ.
Did DJ show up?
Yeah.
Oh, I must have missed that.
And then Charles Kirby was on it as well.
Yeah, the original host of Rogue One Radio, and then me, who is the second host, and then DJ, who was co-host with you and Nicole. Or Nicole was a co-host, you weren't a co-host. But I actually think you said DJ was before Nicole. And then...
Yeah, DJ started as a co-host, and then Nicole came on as a third co-host.
Yeah.
And then she left, and so it was just me and DJ again, and then now it's me and JD.
Yeah.
So...
and you also had Ro from Scare Scuttlebutt.
Yeah, he was on last night, too.
It was a good time. Go check it out if you haven't. It was we talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of squirrels last night. But that just tends to happen when I'm on. To be honest.
Well, it happens all the time. So, Green Lantern, am I right?
Yeah. Good character. Man, somebody should talk about him during a podcast.
That's what we're about to do. So, just some general stuff right now. Green Lantern as a character debuted in July 1940 in All American Comics number 16.
In a red outfit.
Yeah, he had a red outfit.
And of course that's not the Green Lantern we're really going to be talking about today, is it?
Not in general. So that was Alan Scott.
Yes.
He had a red shirt, green pants, and a green cape. But he is,
and a lantern.
He is very different from the
Green Lantern of today.
So he is what we would call the Golden Age Green Lantern.
Yeah.
He was created by Martin Naudel and Bill Finger, who...
Bill Finger did Green Lantern?
Yeah,
Huh.
so he was the co-creator of that. He was also the co-creator of Batman.
Oh man.
Um, and then in 1959, we get the Silver Age Green Lantern, otherwise known as Hal Jordan.
Yep.
And he was created by John Broome and Gil Kane, although somebody else had kind of co-created him as well, but for some reason he's not getting a credit on this article. That's weird. No, a guy named Julius Schwartz.
The name rings a bell, but I can't say that I know it off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hal Jordan was introduced in 1959 in a comic book called Showcase, and he was in Showcase number 22. And so Hal Jordan is I will just say, the most well-known
Green Lantern. I would agree. I'd say a character that we'll definitely mention later is a close second.
Yeah.
With the rest kind of falling by the wayside. But
so he was the Silver Age Green Lantern. And then we have the Bronze Age Green Lanterns. And there were two of those. And that was Guy Gardner and John Stewart.
It was Guy before John. I do know that.
Yeah. So Guy Gardner debuted in March 1968 in Green Lantern number 59. And he was created by the same characters that created Hal Jordan, Gil Kane and John Broome.
Nice.
And then we come to John Stewart, who debuted in December 1971 in Green Lantern number 87. Now, he was created by a couple of names that most people in comic book circles will recognize. Dennis O'Neil and Neil Adams. And the reason that you might recognize these names, especially if you are referring to Green Lantern, is that those two are the guys that did the iconic Green Lantern, Green Arrow team-up comic book run.
Nice.
So they created John Stewart. And then we come to the modern age Green Lanterns, of which there are several.
There's a lot of fucking Green Lanterns.
Well, there's 1, 2, 3, there's 5 of them. Five notable ones. So first, we have a character that debuted in January 1994 in Green Lantern number 48, and that is Kyle Rayner.
Yes.
He first appeared in the Emerald Twilight storyline.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, Emerald Twilight is the storyline where Hal Jordan basically turns into Parallax.
I thought Emerald Twilight was post-Parallax.
No, he becomes Parallax.
Okay. Wow.
So there's Kyle Rayner. And then the next one of the modern age debuted in okay. So In 2012, there was actually, I think it started before 2012, possibly. But yeah, it actually started in 2011. But in 2012, there was so the New 52 initiative started in 2011. But in 2012,
Yeah.
specifically May of 2012, there was a run of free comic book day special editions. Green Lantern number 0.
Yeah, I was gonna say those are the zeros, right?
Yeah. And that one debuted the next Green Lantern, and that would be
Simon
Simon
Baz.
Baz. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I think it was during the Forever Evil storyline that the next one was made, right? Or created.
That is correct. So this character debuted in Green Lantern number 20, also
Green
in the
Lantern.
New 52.
Yeah.
And that was in
'Cause why not?
2013. That is Jessica Cruz.
The first
And
female human Green Lantern.
Oh! I totally forgot some stuff. Hold on. Let me back up a little bit. Okay, Kyle Rayner was created by Ron Mars and Daryl Banks.
Yeah.
Simon Baz was created by Jeff Johns and Doug Mahnke, I think is his name. And then Jessica Cruz, also created by Jeff Johns, but also co-created by Ethan Van Sciver. So Jeff Johns, we are going to be mentioning Jeff Johns probably a lot in this show.
Jeff Johns is just a big name.
Yeah,
I'm surprised we haven't. I mean, the only reason you and I haven't had any in-depth conversation about Jeff Johns is because he doesn't really do any Batman.
Yeah. But as far as Green Lantern is concerned, he's a big name.
Big name.
Okay, next modern age Green Lantern appeared in Far Sector number 1 in January 2020. And that is Sojourner Mullen, also known as just Joe.
Yeah,
Far Sector.
I don't know shit about her. I don't know a damn thing about her.
So Far Sector was a 12-issue series, and it was basically I don't think it was like a alternate reality. It was just different. But she was
not
created,
mainline.
Yeah, she was created by Norakita Jemison. Hopefully, I didn't butcher that. And Jamal Campbell.
Nice.
And then the fifth of our 5 modern age.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, they don't even have like their own Wikipedia article. Okay. Well, give me a second.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even know that there was one after the whatever her name is.
Yeah, I recognize the name and I've seen her, but I don't know enough about her to talk a lot about her. So,
how many Green Lanterns do we need? Just do another Hal Jordan.
Okay. So her name was Kelly Quintella, and she debuted in Young Justice number 1 in March 2019. And she's a teenager. Well, no, she's not even a teenager. She's 11 years old. And I'm not even sure if you'd call her an official Green Lantern because she kind of stole the powers.
Oh.
So, but she's notable. Anyway, so those are the folks that have been Green Lanterns. And so they're all part of the Green Lantern Corps, which is an intergalactic law enforcement agency that were created by the Guardians of the... Not the Guardians of the Galaxy. That'd be kind of weird.
The Guardians of the Galaxy invented who?
No, they did not. Guardians of the Universe is who created the Green Lanterns. But yeah, so those are the Green Lanterns that are most notable. The most well-known, however, being...
I can't believe you didn't say anything about Kilowog.
Well, okay. Let me be more specific. I am actually referring to the Green Lantern of Sector 2814, which is the sector that where Earth is located. So yeah. So
why is there no Martian Green Lantern? That's what I want to know.
Well, that would be of 2814 as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is why can't there be a yeah?
I don't know. Maybe the Martians are racist against Martians.
I think that's canonically the storyline of Martian Manhunter. I'm pretty sure that's his backstory.
Yeah. So anyway, so Green Lantern, cool character.
Yeah.
Let's talk a bit about some of our favorite Green Lanterns.
So of the 2814 Green Lanterns, who would you say is your favorite? Of the protagonist Green Lanterns, who is your favorite?
I mean, really, I have to go with Hal Jordan, but if we are leaving Hal Jordan off the table,
let me rephrase. Other than Hal Jordan, who is your favorite?
Okay, I was going to say, outside of Hal Jordan, my favorite is actually Simon.
Really?
Yeah.
That is,
I know. I really like. Now, close second would be John Stewart.
Okay.
But Simon, there's just something about him that I really like.
To be fair, I do like, I think that of the New 52, Simon Baz is one of the best things they did.
Oh, for sure.
Well,
of the New 52, let's be fair, Green Lantern is really the only book
good one
outside of Batman, Court of Owls, all that was good about.
Yeah, they were really cooking with Green Lantern.
Yeah.
The Third Army and all that shit. That was pretty tight.
There were some awesome story arcs, which we are.
But I do. I like Simon Baz. I will say this is nothing against Simon Baz. I think that he is one of the more compelling Green Lanterns.
Yeah.
More interesting than Guy Gardner, who's just an asshole.
Yeah.
But,
I do like Guy Gardner too, but
yeah, I do too.
Lower down on the list. But I'm pretty sure I know who your favorite Green Lantern is.
Kilowog. No, of the 2814, other than Hal Jordan, because of course Hal Jordan is the best. Yeah. I would say, very, very obviously, he's been my favorite since I was a kid. It's Kyle Rayner.
Yeah,
I like him. He's. I think having him be his whole thing is that Hal was turning into Parallax, and they needed Ion. They needed the most powerful Green Lantern of all. And I think having Kyle, who is just kind of this nobody kid who is literally living in the shit when he gets picked up by whoever the fuck.
Well,
one of the Guardians, but he's like he's drunk off his ass. Nothing going for him, which is a complete contrast to Hal Jordan, who thinks that he's King Big Shit of Dick Mountain. Which, to be fair, Hal Jordan is sick as hell. He can be King Big Shit of Dick Mountain if he wants to. But the point is Kyle Rayner, he becomes a Green Lantern at like a really shit time in his life, and then he's just like, also, by the way, you're the only one, and also you are the coolest one. And he's just like, ah, man.
Yeah, what was funny is like this was at a time when Hal Jordan, like I said, he was turning into Parallax, and he like killed off a bunch of the Green Lanterns.
Like most of them.
Yeah, and so Ganthet, who is one of the Guardians of the Universe,
that's the name,
shows up and sees Kyle, and he's like, "You'll have to do." So it's just like,
yeah, he's just kind of like a starving artist. He's just like out there existing, down on his luck, and again, that's like I guess.
Yeah, but then he turns into like a really powerful character.
He does, and even goes on to become like he becomes like the White Lantern in the New 52, and he gains the power of the different, like he keeps changing rings and all that, and it's just really
Yeah,
it's something, and I'd say I don't know, I like Kyle Rayner.
yeah, and then he turns into Ion.
And it's sick as hell.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'd have to say my second favorite is probably Alan Scott.
Okay. So
I don't know. I don't really have a reason for that one. I just think he's funny.
Outside of the 2814 Green Lanterns, my favorite, and I don't know if this will come as a shock or not, but my favorite non-2814 Green Lantern is Sinestro.
Before I say anything about that, I would have to say that my favorite non-2814 Green Lantern is actually, and I think this will surprise you. It's actually Sinestro. Because Sinestro's cool as hell, dude.
Yeah, he was a really cool villain, but he was a Green Lantern before he was a villain.
And he's also sick as hell. Also, I lost something. Hold on.
Yeah, and so Sinestro debuted in August 1961 in Green Lantern number 7, created by John Broome and Gil Kane. And he was basically the protege of Abin Sur, who we haven't mentioned yet. Abin Sur is the guy.
He wasn't really a protege. Sorry, go on.
Well, Abin Sur was his mentor.
I thought that they were partners more than they were. Oh, whatever. Kind of like an Obi-Wan and Anakin situation, maybe.
But yeah, so Abin Sur is the alien that he's dying, and he gives the ring to Hal Jordan.
Yeah,
and
he's like he like Indigo Core, and he discovered that all life started on Earth and DC. It's fucking ridiculous.
But so Sinestro was, I mean, he's typically known as a villain.
I mean, you don't.
In fact,
his name is Sinestro.
To be fair, yeah. So in 2009, IGN ranked Sinestro as the 15th greatest comic book villain of all time.
That is 15th?
Yeah.
Out of how many?
15th, yeah. Out of, I'm trying to pull that article up. Hang on. Out of 100. So, just for your own personal, I want to know, their number one was Magneto.
Yeah, all right. I wouldn't really call
And their
Magneto a villain anymore, but yeah.
Sure. And their number two was Joker. But yeah,
Ew.
Sinestro was number 15. But
Okay.
Sinestro, I mean, he started out as a Green Lantern.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
he
the
was
whole
Green
thing
Lantern.
was that,
He was actually considered the best Green Lantern.
and like the whole thing is that he didn't think that how this like cocky, wise ass son of a bitch human was like worthy of taking Avin Sur's place.
Yeah.
And because of that, he became like disillusioned with the Green Lanterns and went on to do cooler shit
Yeah.
than be a Green Lantern.
And then at some point, he started getting he started experimenting with fear rather than willpower
Yeah.
to use it in combat. And so the Guardians basically banish him.
Yeah, to like the antimatter universe, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Where he
So
forges the first yellow ring.
He does. So he creates the yellow ring, and that is where we get the Sinestro that most people know, which eventually leads to a comic book event that we will get to when we get to talk.
Oh, we absolutely will. I know that we're gonna end up talking about it.
Yeah. And so yeah, Sinestro outside of 2814. Now, outside of Sinestro,
Outside of 2814, outside of Sinestro.
I have to go with Kilowog.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
it's Kilowog.
Kilowog's
You poozer.
Yeah.
He's a big ass hippo guy, and he's got like children. It's hilarious.
He's
funniest fucking Green Lantern. He's the only good one.
Well, I mean, there's Chip.
When are we getting the Kilowog solo series? The fucking squirrel?
Yes. That is appropriate for this show.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, come on. I mean, okay.
You're ridiculous.
So, but come on. Hold on now. Let me show you something here. Let me see if I can get it pulled up. Dang it. Oh, wow. So Restream will allow you to upload WebP images. StreamYard will not. But here we go. There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks fucking goofy.
So, okay. So that kind of covers our favorite characters.
I mean, it's never good when we start agreeing because there's less to talk about. I mean,
well, to be fair, I mean, outside of Batman, I would say as far as comic books are concerned, Green Lantern might be the one that we agree on more often than not in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Because that was another one of those comic book characters that we both
just like.
We just like them.
But I mean, like, we don't really disagree on Batman. It's just,
Yeah. No.
Sometimes it's X, sometimes it's Y.
Yeah. So, okay. So that is going to lead us into our discussion of some of our favorite Green Lantern story arcs. Now, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Oh wow. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 that I can think of off the top of my head, and
Story arcs?
story arcs, yeah.
Huh.
And no, 5. 5. I can think of 5, and I think all 5 of them are written by the same guy.
Yeah, I can probably think of who it is.
Wow, that is actually slightly
It tells
disappointing.
you something.
Actually, no. I can think of one other story arc that is not written by him that I really like.
Yeah.
But yeah, 5 of the 6 of my favorites are all written by the same guy. So we didn't really think this whole thing through, and I don't really know how we could go about doing like we don't
Storyline.
necessarily need to rank them.
Yeah, no, I mean we can just discuss them.
Yeah. So okay, so let me write down my 6 while I'm thinking of them,
Yeah.
and then we'll see how many of these match what you're gonna say.
Yeah, because there's a good chance that we may.
Yeah, it's a very good chance that most of these are going to be the same as yours.
Yeah.
Okay, look at that. Let's do that one, and then let's do that one, and then okay, is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah, I've got my 6 down. So why don't you go ahead and name one of them, and if you, and then I'll go, and then we'll just kind of go back and forth. Okay.
So first,
you don't have to start off. You don't have to start off with your number 1 favorite, because
yeah,
I absolutely know which one it is.
right off the bat, right off the top of my head, Sinestro Corps War.
Okay, that's on my list.
Because it was Jeff Johns, drawn by I don't know his name, but he's a very talented individual. He did my favorite.
Dave Gibbons.
Dave Gibbons. That might not be who I'm thinking of then.
Oh no! He was part of he was one of the writers. Never mind. Are you thinking of Ivan Rice?
There we go, Ivan. I think that's right. I think he was involved in my favorite. But yeah, I don't know. Sinestro Corps War. It served a very important purpose in the lore of Green Lanterns, because before then there were no other rings. It was just green, and that was it. And then suddenly you got yellow, and then right after that is when they started going, yeah, by the way, you know how there's not just willpower? You know how you feel things other than will? Yeah. There's other ones. Whole rainbow of these motherfuckers. And now it's Hal's problem.
Because of Sinestro Corps War, Green Lantern, like up to that point, Green Lantern sold well and was okay as far as DC Comics goes, like profitability wise. Sinestro Corps War like took the Green Lantern title to the next level. It became one of DC Comics' most profitable titles.
Yeah.
So okay, just some basic information. It was a 11-part series, originally published between June and December of 2007. But I think that Yeah, that is before New 52.
Yep.
Slightly before New 52, because New 52 started in 2011. Um, so, I mean, long story short, it's about the Green Lanterns of Earth and the rest of the Green Lantern Corps fighting a war against the Sinestro Corps, which is an army led by Sinestro. And they're all armed with yellow power rings. And
And I think before then, it was like a major thing in Green Lantern that lethal force was not authorized. Like
yeah,
if you had a ring, you couldn't kill people with it. And after this, I don't think they ever went back.
yeah. So yeah, Sinestro Corps War, definitely a favorite. So let me pop that one off my list because we've already talked about it. Okay, so the first one I'm going to mention is probably not one that is on your list. And this is the one that was not written by Jeff Johns. And it is, we actually, we did mention it earlier. It was Emerald Twilight.
Yeah, that
And
figures.
that was written by Ron Mars. And it took place in, or it was published in between January and March 1994. It was a 3-part story arc in Green Lantern 48 through 50. And it was, so basically this follows the events where Coast City is destroyed.
Yeah,
And
like gone, like completely.
yeah. And basically Mongol destroys Coast City, like just wipes it off. And Hal Jordan is taking it
Understandably pissed.
very hard. And it essentially, like, the entire story arc is about his descent. And then basically becomes Parallax.
Or he gets like infested by Parallax.
Yeah, I mean, in the future, you realize that it wasn't him. But at this point in time, you basically, like, oh my gosh, you guys just turned Hal Jordan into a bad guy.
Yeah, it wasn't great. He was killing Green Lanterns and shit.
Yeah, he was.
It'd be like it was like turning John Connor into a Terminator. You know?
Been done.
Well, yeah, no, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, and so, and this is also when Kyle Rayner appears in this story arc. But yeah, that's one of my favorites too.
That's fair. That's pretty. I mean, that one set the tone for a lot of the future of Green Lantern.
Yeah, it really did. It's definitely set the tone for a lot of stuff. Moving on.
I mean, he never really, he never really lived that down.
Yeah. I guess I didn't think to ask, but how many different story arcs do you have on your list?
I'm thinking. Three. Hold on, I'm trying. I feel like I had more. I think it's just 3, to be honest.
All right, so I'll be taking up most of this discussion, I guess.
Yeah.
What is your second one?
My second one is Rise of the Third Army in New 52. It introduced Simon Baz. It introduced it was one of those like, oh fuck, what, that's not alright, because they turned it's one thing to turn Green Lantern into it's one thing to turn Hal into a bad guy, but the fucking Guardians?
Yeah.
And then you got these creepy ass, like, flesh looking dudes.
Yeah.
Running around. It was freaky. And you got
So the main writer of that one, again, Jeff Johns.
Jeff Johns.
There were other writers though. There was Peter J. Tomasi and Tony Bedard and Peter Milligan. And who wrote it basically depended on which, because this was a crossover event between all of the Green Lantern books. So you had the flagship Green Lantern series. That one was written by Jeff Johns. And then you had the Green Lantern Corps book, which was written by Peter Tomasi. And then you had Green Lantern New Guardians, which was written by Tony Bedard.
Yeah.
And you had Red Lanterns.
That's what I was trying to think of what the fourth one was. Like Red Lantern.
Yeah. So this was a crossover in all of those. And then the Third Army was basically a force that was created by the Guardians to
be an emotionless army.
Replace the Green Lanterns. Yeah. So that was definitely a good story arc. I like that for several reasons, but one of the reasons is because Simon Bass is very prominent in it. But aside from that, it's still a really cool story. It's pretty awesome. I actually own. I don't own the hardcover, but I own the trade paperback.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. That's where I wrote it from.
And this was in New 52. So I'm going to touch on my 4 and 5 because since you only have 3, I know these are not in your list because I know what your favorite is.
You don't know.
I do know. So
it could be something completely random.
So the first one is Green Lantern Rebirth. And
Green Lantern Rebirth, yeah.
This was written by Jeff Johns. Came out. So this was a 6-issue series. Started in December 2004 through July 2005. This is basically like the reintroduction of Hal Jordan as a Green Lantern. He's finally overcome the cosmic entity Parallax and becomes Green Lantern again.
I thought he was the Spectre after he was Parallax.
He was, but he still had some. I think there were still some remnants in there.
He was the Spectre for a while, though. Yeah, I went from being a ghost for Christ and went back to being a green.
Yeah. So that's one, and then the next one is Green Lantern Secret Origin, also written by Jeff Johns, and drawn by Ivan Reis. And this is, it's a retelling of his origin.
Yeah.
And this was a 29, like a 6-issue series. It came out in 2000.
If it's anything like Superman Secret Origin, it's probably pretty good.
It's really good. Yeah, I really like it. And it's a prelude to the next one that we are going to talk about. But yeah, so this is basically retelling of his origin.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Which
What is there to
brings
say about an origin story, really?
Yeah, which brings us to your absolute favorite Green Lantern.
Absolute favorite. I cannot stress enough that when I say that this comic book is not only to me peak, like the zenith of what Green Lantern can be, but in some ways it's the zenith of what DC can be.
Yeah.
I love this comic book. It is one of my favorite comic books. Period. End of sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Quite possibly, if I was feeling a little frisky, I would say quite possibly one of my favorite comic book medias. I'm talking movies, I'm talking TV shows, I'm talking video games. This is one of my favorites.
Yeah. Like, you probably like this book more than any Batman story arc.
What? Ooh. Ooh. Oh, man, don't make me... Hold on. God, that's rough. Maybe. You may not be entirely wrong, but I won't say it for sure.
Based off of the fact that I remember how much you absolutely loved.
Yeah, oh man, I missed that big ass omnibus I had.
Yeah.
If I could get that again, I would in a heartbeat.
So if you haven't figured out what book we're talking about,
It's a Natural Core War. No, just kidding. It's
Blackest Night. Blackest Night.
Blackest Night by Jeff Johns with an absolutely amazing group of artists and inkers
and the artist was Ivan Rice.
Yes, I knew it. Yeah, it is quite. I mean, it's a really big name in Green Lantern comics. To be fair, it's not exactly a like, oh wow, this is really surprising that someone enjoys it. No, it's but it's God, it's just so good.
This book covered. It did not just cover.
It was not a Green Lantern comic series. It was a DC comic series.
Yeah, I mean, it was the main core story was in Green Lantern, but it covered a whole bunch of.
Blackest Night was like the death of Superman for Green Lantern. It was a massive story that completely changed the paradigm of the space. And so basically the plot is, those dastardly colors with all the powers and shit. Ooh. There is also black, which represents death. And the guy that embodies it, Necron, he's pissed that people keep coming back to life, because that's a bunch of bullshit. Knock it off. And so he's coming to town, and they actually used an older character named Black Hand for it. From what I know, Black Hand was just kind of it's the Black Hand, ooh.
His first appearance was in Secret Origins. Or Secret Origin. Yeah.
Was he? I thought he was older than that.
Well, you know what? He might have been, but I know he was very. I'm going to say
they brought him back.
He was prominent. You're right. He first appeared in 1964, but
yeah.
he
was very prominent in Secret Origins to build up to his reappearance in
right.
But yeah, so basically Necron, he's coming to town like Santa but worse. Because he's not bringing gifts, he's bringing death. And it's really, I mean, it's incredible. It's I mean, every character is important in it. Not a single DC character goes unmentioned. There's characters that died in real life decades before this, or they're bringing back like Aquaman at one point lost a child. They brought back the child for this comic. It was disturbing. It was, it wasn't. I like I use the phrase "it's a love letter to blank" quite a bit. This was not a love letter to anything. This was kind of a fuck you in the face of years of DC, but in the best possible way.
Yeah.
And
Such
it
good
was
artwork in this story.
Oh, the artwork is phenomenal. See, I think it was either my omnibus or something you had. It had like interviews or like a director's commentary type thing where they talked, and you could tell that this group is just like the funniest bunch of people. They really cared about what they were doing, and it's incredible. And I mean, it also it kind of paves the way to another comic book series that followed it. But this one, I mean,
Brightest Day. Are you talking about that one?
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I read Brightest Day like once, and I think it was on the way to a wedding. Do you remember when we went to that one wedding in it was like a vineyard or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised I remember, but it was I read it on the way there, and I never read it again. I don't remember a damn thing about it, but you could ask me any last question about Blackest Night, and I'll answer that shit lickety split.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So there's going to be a TV show.
A Green Lantern TV show? Right.
I know. Lanterns TV show. It's going to be, it'll be on HBO Max.
Of course it will.
And it is, it's basically, it's Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. And it's essentially a murder mystery show, at least for the first season.
What we know of it is it's going to be a murder mystery.
Yeah, yeah. So, so far they've casted 5 characters for it, and I'm pretty sure that the production on it has already started.
Captain Mal,
okay, no, not yet. It's reported that filming is scheduled to begin on February 10th. But yeah, we've got a lot of the main cast. We've got Hal Jordan has been cast. Jon Stewart's been cast. Nathan Fillion, who is going to be in the Superman movie, as Guy Gardner, will be in this show. They've cast Sinestro.
Ooh.
And they have cast somebody. I'm pretty sure it is an original character and it's supposed to be Hal Jordan's love interest, and her name is Carrie.
You mean Carol?
That you would think, but no, this person's name is Carrie. So I don't know why they're going that route, but yeah, they've cast, and I'm optimistic. So hopefully we'll have some news about when that is going to be released soon. But yeah, do you have any other thoughts about Green Lantern that you'd like to chat about?
I mean, I've got the thought that I'm not necessarily excited for the TV show. Which is nothing against James Gunn or I mean, I am still a little pissed that Nathan Fillion is Guy Gardner and not Hal Jordan, because Nathan Fillion was born to play Hal Jordan. If you don't believe me, go watch Firefly, where he plays the spectacular Captain Mal Reynolds, who is literally just fucking Hal Jordan. I'm sorry, it pisses me off that they didn't make him God, what the fuck is James Gunn on? But I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. I don't know. I'm hoping that the whole like new character that is his love interest is like, haha, just kidding. Carol is gonna show up later because they don't even have Carol or like Ferris Air as like concepts. I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
But it's really, I mean, Green Lantern is like, he's one of those characters that everybody knows because he's sick as hell. I mean, even if you don't know him from the comics, you probably know Jon Stewart from the cartoon. Or you know it from that piss poor 2011 movie. But it's just,
That movie was great.
it's just, I don't know. It's just, he's one of those characters that, I mean, there's a lot to say. He
Yeah.
does cool shit.
Yep.
And I look forward to seeing how James Gunn does it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And that will cover this special episode of Rebel Rock Radio. I almost said Rogue One Radio. So
This episode with the Bat Cave.
yeah, so thanks, patrons. You're going to be able to see this one early before everybody else does. Eventually, it will be on our YouTube channel. So thanks for watching. And if you'd like to see more Green Lantern content, let us know. Later.